Hello everybody, it is Melissa here, the insurance exam queen, and I want to do a video on term insurance versus whole life insurance. Please make sure to subscribe and like the channel and make any comments below. They definitely help making sure that we can do this full time and provide you so much love and support to pass your exam. So now on the life insurance exam, whether you're doing life or life and health, they teach you a bunch of different policies, but the exam isn't necessarily going to ask you about every single type of life insurance. The two that they love the most to ask you about is going to be term insurance versus whole life insurance. So it's very important to know the difference between term and whole, because this is where the majority of questions will come from on the life or life and health exam when they're talking about types of life policies. So with term insurance, it's known as temporary, meaning it's only good for a certain term. It may be, if it's a 1-year term, it may be known as an ART, annually renewable term. But most people buy them in like chunks of 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. In fact, term is really great when you have a mortgage. Like if you and your spouse get married and one of you dies, you have a mortgage you have to pay off. Term insurance, if it's lasting your entire mortgage, it will help to make sure that it could pay that off. So term is temporary. And then term is also cheap. It's the cheapest of the policies in terms of how much money you can get. So my term insurance, for instance, is $28 a month. So just $28 a month. And if I were to die, it would pay out $250,000. So $28 for $250,000. That concept, by the way, is called aleatory unequal exchange. I only pay the insurance company $28. They will pay out my family $250,000 if I were to die. That's an unequal exchange, aleatory. But anyway, so it's cheap, and then it's also lots of coverage. So like I said, $28 for $250,000. So $250,000 my family would get if I were to die, and that's term. Now whole life is, what did I write here? Oh, permanent. Whole life is permanent, meaning that it goes your whole life. Your whole life. This is a policy that will pay out no matter what. Term will only pay out if you die during that term. So like my insurance is 30 years when I bought it. And if I do not die during that 30 years, the $250,000 will not pay out. It will not pay out. Whole life will always pay out because it's going to go for your whole life, meaning that at whatever point you die, then it will pay out. Now, whole life will actually, it does have a cutoff, but it's still going to pay out. So what we're saying here is whole life actually goes till age 100. So when you turn age 100, the whole life policy is done, but it will pay you out whatever it has available on whatever the death benefit is. So whole life is permanent because it is good forever until when you die and or turn age 100, it will pay out. And then another big thing about whole life is it has cash value. Whole life is saving your own money for your own death. And I'll do another video explaining whole life insurance more into depth because it's a little bit confusing. But it has cash value on it, where term does not have cash value. This alone, whole life having cash value, is probably 3 to 5 questions on your exam. Knowing that whole has cash value and term does not. They will ask you that 3 or 4 or 5 different ways to confirm and know that you understand whole has cash value and term does not. There is 0 cash value in term. Now, we may not know what that means yet, and like I said, I'll do another video, but as long as you can remember that whole has cash value and term does not, that is so important and so crucial. So this is a brief rundown of term versus whole. Term is temporary, it's the cheapest, it's lots of coverage for a small amount of money, but you must die during that term in order for the payout. And if you don't die during that term, it will not pay out. Whole life is permanent. It goes forever till age 100. It has cash value. Okay, so there's a brief rundown of term versus whole. If you need more information on term versus whole, or if you're struggling to understand it throughout your course, make sure to watch the rest of my YouTube videos. You can also join my Facebook group I'm very active on both Facebook and YouTube. And in addition, I sell recordings to classes that I have taught these concepts, and those are available on my website. The link will be in the description, and you can purchase lots of class recordings where I teach this material much more in depth. And there's always, usually, not always, gonna be offerings for live classes where you can attend to buy tickets as well if you need more in-depth information. I'm sending you all the love and all the vibes for you to pass your exam so that you can begin your amazing and fabulous insurance career. I love you all.